This is Corbin, the Awkward Game Master, and welcome to Beyond D&D. Today we will be discussing Beast the Primordial. Today's sponsor is Matthew from Warlock's Sanctum Games. He's a professional game master, and you can find a link in the description to his Start Playing account if you'd like to hire him. Beast the Primordial is a standalone RPG in the Chronicles of Darkness setting, which centers around people whose souls were replaced by legendary monsters that feed on fear and pain. Before we begin, a content warning. Beast the Primordial covers themes of abuse, and the lead developer was fired due to allegations of abuse and rape. I've attached the Onyx Path's official statement in regards to the incident. Additionally, I have received confirmation from Onyx Path that the ex-developer receives no compensation or royalties if you do purchase the Beast rulebooks. That said, it is important to acknowledge the possible connection between the concepts used in Beast and the accusations leveled at its creator. I think that it would be worth having a respectful and sensitive conversation with your players about their feelings around the usage of this character template to avoid triggering anyone by using it. It is for this reason that Beast has a stigma in the community and is often used for villain characters in campaigns. If you're looking for an alternative to Beast, there is an annotation above to my video covering Changeling the Lost. Please, take a moment to pause if you need to, and then we can dive into Beast the Primordial. Beasts were once humans who had a deep connection to their nightmares, but while they slept, their soul was devoured and replaced by a monster of the primordial, called a horror. Even though the beasts aren't biologically related to one another, their existence is explained through the Dark Mother, a being that has explored the primordial dream and guides the beasts. She is not often seen, but can bestow visions and send messages to her children. She tells her children to teach humanity lessons through nightmares. Essentially, they become the boogeymen in the night that are meant to keep children good. Eventually, this may attract the attention of heroes, who see the beasts as evil preying on humanity. These humans are granted powers to fight the beasts. If a beast doesn't feed their hunger, their horror will eventually affect those around them and go feeding on its own. Beasts can also feed their hunger by witnessing other supernatural creatures feeding, such as vampires, werewolves, changelings, and most of the other game-line creatures. A beast looks human in the real world, but when they enter the primordial dream, they become the monster that their horror represents. Even a giant spider can look like a perfectly average person, but when they embody their horror, the truth is revealed. Beasts can be great psychic investigators, as they can detect areas where a supernatural attack has taken place, and with enough time they can get visions of what transpired there. Beasts form groups known as broods, which may include other supernatural beings. When supernaturals feed during a hunt, beasts can feed their own hunger by being nearby. This is called family dinner. Such as vampires drinking blood, werewolves devouring prey, and changelings feeding off of mortal emotion. The primordial dream is another plane of existence made up of the fear and trauma of a collective human psyche. A tragedy like the Titanic sinking would likely manifest itself as a flooded chamber inside the primordial dream, though any traumatic event can form a chamber. Every beast has a lair inside the primordial dream. This acts as a place of power where they can recover. Being part of a brood allows beasts to interconnect their lairs together, making them stronger bastions of defense against heroes. For a given region, there is usually one beast which is most feared by humanity, known as the apex beast. Their existence influences the appearance of the primordial dream in the area. Think of the apex as king of the hill until something bigger comes along. Apexes can even be non-beasts, though they usually won't know they hold this power unless another beast tells them. A region's beasts might have their lairs all linked together into a hive, but it's kind of like having a public chat room. Jerks can come and go as they please. The endgame of beasts comes in the form of inheritance, which has three possibilities. The retreat, where your beast and horror are separated, the merger, where your beast and your horror merge into one entity, and the beast incarnate, where the beast becomes a living myth and the pinnacle of what a beast can achieve. Family is the type of beast your character is. Hunger is what type of fear that beast feeds on. Satiety is how hungry the horror is. At 0, the beast is ravenous to feed. At full, your horror falls asleep and needs to be roused back awake. You'd think you'd want to stay in the middle area, but that makes you an easier target for heroes. Lair is the supernatural home inside the primordial dream. It acts as a power level for a beast, and as it increases, so too does the size of the lair. Legend is the behavior and traits that their horror drives a beast to be. Life is what ties a beast to humanity. Kinship is beasts' shared heritage with most monsters in Chronicles of Darkness, except demons. This grants beasts a few extra abilities depending on who they hang out with. Nightmares are the powers of a horror that are used to terrify mortals. Atavisms are extensions of the horror's form that can manifest in the physical world. Primordial pathways is an ability that allows beasts to traverse multiple planes of existence, such as Changeling's Hedge, the Underworld, the Shadow, and many more. There are 5 families of beasts. Anakim, nightmares of hopelessness, also known as giants. Stereotypically, they focus on being imposing and powerful. Eshmaki, nightmares of darkness, also known as lurkers. They are the fear of the void and unknown. Makara, nightmares of the depths, also known as leviathans. They are the embodiment of drowning. Namtaru, nightmares of revulsion, also known as gorgons. They are stereotypically ugly or disgusting. Ugalu, nightmares of exposure, also known as raptors. They are the representation of having no protection from the elements. Note that you can feel free to play around with which type of family your character is from. For instance, Frost Giant could easily be either Anakim or Ugalu. Hungers are what type of fear beasts feed off of. Tyrants hunger for power, stereotypically feeding off of being superior to others. Collectors hunger for the hoard, stereotypically feeding off of increasing their own hoard. Predators hunger for prey, stereotypically feeding off of the act of hunting. Nemesis hunger for punishment, stereotypically feeding off of punishing the guilty. Ravengers hunger for ruin, stereotypically feeding off of destruction. Nightmares allow a beast to trigger the fear inside a target. All a beast has to do is have eye contact or touch their prey. The effect can be immediate or lay dormant until the target falls asleep. These nightmares are psychological attacks that cause negative conditions to the target. Examples could be causing a subject to become sick to their stomach, completely useless, paranoid, alone, so much more. Nightmares allow beasts to assist others in social encounters. Think of it as the beast setting up another player to succeed. This is also true for their Mother's Kiss ability, which grants bonus dice to other supernatural abilities. Atavisms are innate abilities that beasts draw from their family. Many of these abilities only affect the beast. Examples could be a Makara exuding magnetic charm or causing their surroundings to flood. A Namtaru could poison people with a touch or turn into a swarm of insects. Most families have at least 2 atavisms to choose from. Lastly, every beast has a lair in the primordial dream which houses their horror. In game terms, the lair not only acts as a supernatural safe house, but also as a gauge of how powerful a beast is. Inside the lair are chambers and burrows that lead to the beast's primary chamber, called their heart. If the beast's heart collapses, the beast dies. Lairs are a little bit like dungeon building and tower defense. I'd recommend players to actually map out their lairs if they'd like to. In the real world, beasts can become more powerful if they are in a location that matches with the theme of their lair, such as a beast that hoards money might be more powerful in a bank, where a robbery just took place, than if they were in, say, a park. Consent is key to Beast. Please do not run this game without everyone knowing that this game can be about abuse and that it was written by an accused abuser. I'd like to make it clear that even though the theme of the game can be dark, it is up to the storyteller to control how they present the game to the players. A possible way to do this may be playing characters who have to learn to coexist with their inner beast. Beasts have one main antagonist, heroes. Many activities that beasts take part in, inflicting nightmares, feeding, and such, can attract mortals who are also tied to the primordial dream. I like to equate them to monsters that monsters fear. The main weapons heroes have are anathemas. When a hero confronts a beast, they can sometimes inflict a weakness onto the beast that acts as a secret weakness that can be exploited. It only exists because the hero believes it exists. Such anathema are banes that do aggravated damage, entrancements that distract the beast, phobias that cause the beast to flee, a weak spot, and more options as well. Beast Player's Guide helps flesh out the setting a lot more and give context to the primordial dream and a lot of other elements from the core book. If the core book didn't have the character creation rules, I might have suggested skipping that and going straight to the player's guide. I'll be putting a link to the store page for the player's guide in the description below. Going online and asking how other GMs have run Beast is very helpful. Ask around and see what other people have done with the game line, and maybe it'll give you some ideas. The way I would run Beast is I would probably focus on sublimation, which is a psychological defense mechanism that turns socially unacceptable behavior into socially acceptable behavior. As such, the horror wants to cause pain, but the beast tries to direct that to promote some positive change in the world. In the book, heroes are seen as villains that try to stop beasts from teaching lessons, but I kind of like the idea of having the lessons be a way for the beast to stop attracting heroes. If a beast is someone who tries to keep humanity on the straight and narrow, heroes should be trying to keep beasts on the straight and narrow. There's a lot of emphasis placed in the core rulebook on beasts feeding, so much more than what vampires do. As such, I might focus a little bit more on the family dinner aspect of beasts, where they can feed off of other supernatural creatures feeding. This way I can add in a lot more plot hooks with NPCs of other factions, which might help mitigate some of the problems I have with Beast. One of the main takeaways I have from talking with other people is that beasts are very good at being support characters for other supernatural creatures, and as such are great for throwing into other game lines. That being said, players should be aware of making a beast character that can fit with the group. How would you run a beast game, and what type of character would you play? Feel free to let me know in the comments section below. If you liked the video, please hit the like button and subscribe, as it really helps the channel grow, and I've also created a Ko-fi account if you'd like to throw a couple bucks my way. Think of it like a digital tip jar. Link in the description. I'd like to thank the Beast crew on Codex of Darkness Discord channel, Scarman, Delorable, Jer, and Corin02. If you'd like to join us over there, I've put an invite link to the Discord below. I'd also like to thank my fiance who helped me write the script. Thank you all for watching. I hope this video has helped you get a better understanding of Beast the Primordial. Thank you so much, and have a good one.